TLC for Reading, PA. We have a very unique experience for you all. This is what we call our adventure series. It's a proud partnership with Berks Community Action Program. It came down to Stephen Faines and Tillman Sims coming together, just kind of putting some thoughts together, like how can we take kids and do something more outside of the city of Reading, outside of Berks County? What can we do? And just coming through with the game plan of saying, let's expose them to more. Let's just try to do something fun, something different. And you know what we came up with? Let's make it happen. So we reached out, made a couple phone calls. We contacted Redner's Market and said, hey, listen, we need some food for some kids. We'll pay for it if you want to donate something. They were more than willing and more than gracious to say, hey, we'll meet you wherever you need to be, make it happen. I said, you know what? Let's take it a step further. What if we take the kids to Redner's Market so they can see how community action works, how community partners work, so they can see the exchange of goods and just good quality people who are working, who are giving back to our community, how important that is to see it from the foundation up. Thank you so much to Redner's Warehouse Markets. You guys were absolutely phenomenal from the start to the finish. Eric White, amazing. Thank you all the staff, everyone who stepped up and said, hey, we got you. So we took a long journey out to Lake Tobias in Halifax, Pennsylvania, which is in the middle of Pennsylvania, outside of Harrisburg a little bit, out that way. But listen, it's really in the middle of it anyway. I mean, it really is. This is one of his first properties that he was dealing with here. But listen, as we pull into the park, the kids' excitement was absolutely phenomenal. This park, as I say, is so unique. So many kids on this bus have never been. They haven't experienced something like this. They were asking these questions, and our main objective was different. I wanted these kids to discover their why. Find out why this man would decide to open up a zoo in the middle of Pennsylvania, of all places. And not only that, take it a step further. How exactly did this affect his family, his children, and those around him? What did they think of him? But more importantly, as we go into this, we asked Lake Tobias to do us this huge service and talk to us directly about JR and what it meant. And we had the absolute privilege to speak with Miss Jan. Coming into this, Miss Jan just recently lost her mother, probably about a week or so before, and obviously emotions are still high, but this is the first time that she's been asked in a direct way to not just talk about the park, talk about the man, talk about the father, talk about who he was to you and your life and how that came across to you and your family and your upbringing and what it took as a sacrifice. Explain that to these kids so they can understand. And I want you to listen into the raw feelings and emotion that Miss Jan gave talking about her father, the man, and who he was. Listen in.
I'm one of the children of Lake Tobias, J.R. Tobias. I am Jan. There is actually the 6 remaining siblings. Our oldest sister died in 2010. So there's actually 6 siblings and 3 of the grandchildren that are currently owners of the park. And like he says, we're still keeping it going. But it did start with an idea that Dad had. It's actually a dream that he had when he was a kid your age right here. He really loved animals, especially exotic animals and different types of unusual types of animals. So for that dream, he had to have, first of all, a passion to do it. He had to really like what he was doing. And after he graduated from high school here in Halifax, he had plans to go into a field of agriculture and animals, really. But at the last moment, he decided to join the military and went in as a Marine in the early 1940s. But it was really in his military career, as he was there, that he really developed that idea that he actually had to train the officers and how the family while he was living here on the park. But his plan, he knew his idea of owning a wildlife park was going to take more property. It was going to take big bulldozers and big dump trucks to build roads in people's basements and what have you. And also his John Deere Equipment Company, which you passed when you came in here. That company was originally on the property here and is now being run by Toby other people. But those 2 companies and his other ones, he had to use the finances from those companies, all the profits for them to put towards that dream of his. He was a great dad. You didn't see him very often, sorry, because he worked so often. But I don't know why I'm crying. It's been a while. But he supplied for his family. He always made sure Mom had everything we needed as far as clothing and food and what have you. I don't know why I'm just, even though he's running all these businesses to support his family, he still has to stay focused on that dream that he has at the end of his life. So he has building his lake, his dreams in front of him here. He has to, after he builds the lake, he then has to build the fields. He has to buy hundreds and hundreds of acres of fencing because it has to go around 150 acres of land. Plus all the other fencing around here. And to put all that fencing, it also takes time. So he had to have patience to acquire his dream. He had to have determination, even though center of Dauphin County, he still had their support. And he had determination to continue his dream. This is the family vehicle.
About his friends and people who thought that he was crazy for his dream?
The people around here in Halifax, if he told them he was going to be opening up a wildlife park, a safari park, and he had that idea of cutting a school bus off and using it as his safari cruiser, as he called it, they thought he was pretty crazy. But they knew how determined this man was, how hard-working he was, and they never doubted that he would never do what he said he was going to do.
There it is. Thank you.
So we had floods here of 72, we had a tornado of 89, and we had another flood of 96, while that was still here. And I can tell you that these were all devastating to the parking lot. The guy in charge, he had to come, and he had to, because our animals were so healthy, desire or real wish what he could do. He planned it out. Timeline, he worked very hard for it, very hard. He always stayed focused. He was determined. He was persevered. A lot of perseverance. There were lots of disasters at that point. He always stayed focused on his dreams. And today we are working on those new additions to the park. We did have numerous ones since he has gone. And I can tell you that it is a hard work.
So raw, so beautiful. I tell you this, that this is an experience that these kids will never ever forget. To see that, to see the impact, to hear it, to feel it. When you try to find your why, no matter how unique it is, people will be affected, good, bad, or indifferent. In years to come, when you start your family and you build what you want to build by in pursuit of your why, and to hear others tell their story about how you came to that why is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So now we get to explore the park. We get to tour, see the animals, and a lot of these kids, this is the first time that they were in this type of environment, and it was actually one thing that I like to say to others is you don't know what you don't know. And sometimes we take for granted just how we've been exposed to so much. And there's so many people who just haven't. They haven't been able to explore. They haven't been able to see more. They haven't been able to see what's more than just in their neighborhood, going from school to store and back and forth. But to be able to get out and see the world and open up these young minds and say, listen, the world is my oyster. Adventure is out there. I can go see and explore and open things up, and getting involved with school and after school programs and in school programs, it just encourages this good behavior. Now, is this the fix to everything? Is this the, oh, well, you know, the Reading mentality of, well, there's one, there's a million, there's always a kid here doing this, and blah, blah. Honestly, no, okay? This isn't the cure-all for anything, but it's something.
senses. And then he also has an extra big flap of skin hanging from his neck, and that helps to keep him cool. It helps give off heat. These guys are bred from 4 different kinds of zebu, which are kind of Indian.
What a wonderful safari tour on a unique bus, coming from a unique idea of one man saying, I'm gonna take a bus, cut the top off, and make it happen. Cool experience, things that we all got to talk about. We got to have a little lunch afterwards, but we weren't done yet. Like, I felt like there was more that we could do with our time. We got there pretty quick. We explored pretty quick, so we decided to make a stop at Cabela's, world's foremost outfitter. And in Cabela's, there's a lot of free exhibits for people to see. And once again, ironically, a lot of kids didn't see it before, haven't experienced before. And again, I say this, you don't know what you don't know. Why not inspire curiosity and just say, hey, let's take a stop and let's just walk through and see the world differently. Check out the aquarium, check out the goods, check out the world that people come to shop and see different things. Why not? And then they saw more, and they were in amazement at the animals that they just saw at the zoo here in Cabela's, that they can come with their families, come back and see, and just dream about being an outfitter, dream about riding ATVs and going into the woods and hunting for your own food. Just so many different things can come about experiencing something new, something different, right here in our own backyard in Berks County. It's not that far. It's on our way back home. I mean, so listen, kids were excited. It was just a stop along the way. Our bus driver was extremely gracious and absolutely awesome. She was down to stop wherever we needed to stop at and drove the bus really, really well. The kids' excitement, they were great on the bus. We had different trivia questions, just different, fun things that we can engage in, seeing the animals, learning about it. And our trip back into Reading, into the Reading area, the kids had on a different lens. They were seeing their town and their city in a different way. Not in the way that everyone has this negative vibe to, like, oh, it's Reading, oh, it's this. No, this is home. You have to view it with a different lens. See the positive in it. Every corner, every chance you get to turn, say, I see something great. Because the world will force something bad on you real quick. And that's just what we do. We try to just incite positivity in our community, as unique and as different as it is. It's just who we are. So thank you for everyone who stepped up to be a part of this. Thank you to Lake Tobias, Miss Jan for making this happen. Thank you to BCAP and Stephen Faines for making this happen. Thank you to Redners, Mr. Gary Redner and Eric White. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to the Reading Rec Commission. Thank you to the Alvis Boys and Girls Club. Thank you to the Real Deal 610. Thank you to the Doubletree of Reading. Miss Chastity always coming through. Thank you so much. Everybody who was a part of the mission. Thank you, Salida. Thank you, Deja. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to our community partners.